Hello everybody, happy Monday. Bitcoin weekly chart. This touched my buy zone here. This box is there for a couple of months and I've been guiding you guys all the way since Bitcoin is going up. I told you exactly when to take profits around 31,000 and I told you dump is coming. You guys listen to me. Now we are waiting for this dump to be over. Next couple of weeks are going to be very risky for the entire stock market, including S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, US 2000, and Bitcoin. And we got to be very careful here. And I will discuss today targets to buy and targets to take profits in the next pump, which will get soon in a couple of weeks, and then we will exit again. And guys, if you're liking the content, please hit the like button. It only takes 1 second to hit the thumbs up button. And please share with your friends and family. All content is free. If you're making money, want to donate, please, there's a PayPal link in the description. You can donate to say thank. I will appreciate all donations. All right, so Bitcoin Weekly. You can go check my video, short video. I told you, you can see this is PPO. You can see green line now cross red line. If I zoom in a bit, you can see what happened here. You can see now green line cross red line. Okay, now go back to our previous chart. Let me go back here. You can see what happens when this and also we got this red dot on RSI. This is a selling dot on weekly chart. Let's go back here. You can see here, let me put an auto zone here. You can see here when green line cross red line, we got a red dot, a massive dump. You can see here green line cross red line, green line needs to go lower, and also this bar as well, the red bar and a red dot dump. Actually here also today we got a red bar here as well. Okay, so same thing. If I keep going, you can see what happened here, red dot, red bar, green line cross red line, and a dump. When will this dump end? Reverse. Okay, whenever green line goes above red line, we get a green dot and a green bar. That means we are in an uptrend. That's going to take a while, guys. We just started this dump, so next couple of weeks we are going lower. So to discuss targets, how low we can go, we can draw a Fibonacci retracement from previous lows. So let's draw a Fibonacci from here, which is around 19,572 to the high here on a weekly level. And let's put some levels here. You can see exactly on the buy zone. So we touched buy zone anywhere from 26,000 to 23,3636. This is the green box. This is the green box. This is our buy zone. Now let's get rid of this Fibonacci tool to discuss how low we can go. If you zoom out a bit, you can see, let's try to find area of support. You can see this whole area here. Let me draw another box here. You can see this whole area here. This whole area is a nice support. This support, you can see a lot of confidence here. We broke out, came back in this box, again broke out, back tested this. So Bitcoin can even go as low as 22,000 and it can also go around 20,000. One thing I want to show you, if I go to daily chart and if you go to Bitcoin futures, you can see on Bitcoin future there is a massive gap here around 20,300. This gap will be filled. Now, I don't know if it's going to be filled this time or they're going to wait for the end of the year to fill. I don't know, but this gap will eventually be filled. So be mindful of that. Okay, so we can go as low as 20,300 to fill this gap. That will be a great buying opportunity. So going back here to Bitcoin daily chart, you can see Bitcoin daily is holding this trend line. Nice trend line. And also, if I bring my simple moving averages, you can see that focus on these two lines. This is dark blue line and this is light blue line. This light blue line is 200 EMA, exponential moving average. This blue line is 200 SMA, simple moving average. You can see Bitcoin finding support on 200 EMA, light blue line, found support, and also on this trend line, and now a little bit of support, but I think eventually we're going to go lower. And also here also you can see same thing, it found support, it found a little bit support on this and then dumped to lower. So it looks like Bitcoin wants to come at minimum to this bottom dark blue line, which is 200 SMA, which is around 23,297, and also it's at our I think 0.618 Fibonacci retracement. So Bitcoin is coming here, and it is possible we can do Bitcoin can do a fake out and then dip slightly below that as well. So be mindful of that. But for now, just focus on this green box. We are entering green box. Start slowly buying, slowly buying, and the lower we go, start buying higher, and then the closer we get to this dark blue line, you can buy here. So what I'm expecting a price action from here to be like this. It's gonna go lower. The best case is it goes to the bottom of this channel, okay, and then we get a little bit of bounce. I won't say dead cat bounce, a bounce, and we will figure it out when that bounce happens. What would be those levels? And then we are going lower to fill this gap around 20,000. So that's what I'm expecting for the entire year. We're going to leave this here, and when that bounce happens, depending on when Bitcoin turns back, we will review what are those targets. But for now, this is what I'm thinking is going to happen. So soon you should start slowly buying close to this blue line, dark blue line, buy. And then when we are at the bottom here, that will be perfect area. Do not wait till the bottom here, because I cannot really predict exactly when it's going to bottom, but this is a good area to buy. So start slowly buying. The higher we go, the lower we go, the higher you should buy, and then wait for this bounce, which will eventually fail. And this bounce, if it's really strong, can even go here, but I don't think it's going to break this previous high. I think this top is in. Depending on where this red line is, this red line is 50 SMA. So if it's here, that would be also a good target. And also it's possible if I extend this trend line, let me extend this trend line, it's possible Bitcoin can go and backtest this trend line and then go down. But for now, let's move this, let's make this as our projection, and let's follow this path, and then we'll review it as time comes. Ethereum, same thing. Ethereum is now again, you can see, actually let's make it a bit better. It still did not go to my buy zone yet, Ethereum, but it just touched it, and also it's also in this trend, on this trend line, white line. So same thing I'm expecting on Ethereum. This bounce to go lower. Maybe it's gonna go to the bottom of this channel around 1600, then do a bounce, and then we go lower again. All right, and then let's extend this trend line. That will be a good target to review later on. Let me make it a bit better here, like this. It's quite possible Ethereum can do something like this. Okay, guys. All right, so that's crypto. Now let's move to US stock market. I started with crypto today because I know a lot of you guys are here for crypto, so I started with Bitcoin. Now I'm going to go ahead and review the entire US stock market. So let's go and review MES, which is, this is S&P 500. So you can see what's happening on MES. We are getting this dump right now, and it's going to be by the dip. So basically expecting, so next couple of weeks, this week and next week, expecting a short-term bottom. So this downwards pressure is coming here. So on Fibonacci, it's around 41.23. So around 41.23 to 4,000. I don't think we're going to go as low as 4,000. This is a good area to buy. Looking for lower prices here in next couple of weeks, this week and next week. So this previous weekly candle around 41.75 to a week before around 41.13. Expecting S&P 500 to bottom somewhere here, and then I'm expecting an end of year rally, basically late summer rally to top out around 43.50, and then eventually higher risk coming on later this year. But for now, I'm looking to buy this dip, so we're gonna wait for a couple of days to a week or two, and we'll assess how it goes. And if I go to daily chart, you can see here looking for this this dump, and anywhere here is a good buy area. So when we come, and also this 50 simple moving average will keep rising. So I think when it touches here, depending on when it touch, we'll review at that time. That could also be a good area to buy. That will also act as a support. You can see this 50 day simple moving average is acting as a support, so it's possible we can come there, and it can be a very good buying opportunity. Also, if I look at this chart, it's in the sell zone. This is between this dotted line and purple line, and this rotation is 6%. We're getting a dump. You can see previous rotation 5.92, exactly 5.92 here. We got 3% dump here, 6.6, 3% dump. We can get another 2.5% dump, which is very genuine. And then we are looking to buy that dump, and then again for the last pump for this year. And that's what we are looking to do right now. Okay, so that covers MES chart. Let's go to SPY, which is the ETF we use to trade. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see it created a gap here. Let me hide these moving averages. So you can see it created this gap. This gap is going to be filled. So one gap here, 406, and another massive gap here, 395. So let's go to daily chart. Let's see if we have any divergences. No, so we can get rid of this. No divergences today. We burned through all the divergences. So let's go to daily chart. So you can see daily chart, what's happening. If I put this here, you can see we made a new high, and PPO is still divergence. Okay, new high in price. PPO is making a lower high. RSI didn't burn divergence, still some divergence on RSI. Yeah, you can see here. You can see, maybe you can see it better now. Divergence on RSI, divergence on PPO, and we are making a new price higher. That's a contradiction. Okay, so at minimum, I'm looking for this gap to fill around 422. And if I draw some fib retracements here on SPY, let's see what levels will be better. So I think anywhere bit from 409 to 397 is a good buy area. So this whole area here, so let me draw a box. That will be a really good opportunity. If we go there, it will be a perfect pullback. So I'll draw a box here, and let's get rid of this so it's clear. So looking for to buy starting, you can take this previous candle here on 24th of May as a buy, as an area for support. So I'm looking for this to go here this week or next week, and then we're going to look for another rally, late summer rally from here to here. All right, so that's what my expectation is. Triple Qs, which is looking very extended. Let's go to MES MNQ chart. Let's go to weekly chart, and looks like it's making new highs. It keeps going higher. Today it made a new high, and my projection is still same. We can just move it a bit. It's about to make a new top. I think money is going to rotate from tech to other stock, financial, healthcare, utilities, and probably it's going to make top very soon. And today Apple made a new high and it instantly got rejected. So that could be a sign. So also you can see this rally on weekly. This is too far extended. There's not a lot of red candles in this. This is not a healthy bull market. This looks like a any rally. You need some dips. Okay, this is just going insane. So you can see if I drop a percentage wise, this previous rally we got dumped 10% here. You can see here. Let's take this because it was going down. So let's say even upside, if we're going down, upside is around 17% sometimes. So forget about all this. Let's look at bull market. Okay, let's for 1 second we think we are in a bull market. You can see this explosive move. Even in bull market we get corrections. Okay, so you can see this one, it was down more than 12%. Okay, you can see this dump. Let's draw percentage here from top here to the bottom. It was around 8.5%. This dip here from the top here to the bottom around 8.5%. So even in a bull market, even if we are in a bull market, we do need a healthy pullback to keep going high. We cannot just keep going higher. You can see from here, if I get 10% down, it's going to be around 13,000. So that will be a good target. You can see it's going very extended. You can see RSIs in the green lines here. This is like overbought here. Needs to go down, guys. You can see here every time it's too overly extended, we get a massive dump. So anytime we are ready for a 10% dump. So be very careful here. This is the daily chart, and also you can see this other purple line here on this chart. You can see we're again going above purple line, and now we're going down. So it cannot go above purple line, cannot stay for long there. So prices are going lower. So looking for pullback, you can see the cycle low is here around 20th of June, next couple of weeks. So now it's June 6th. So June this week and next couple of weeks is very risky. Looking for pullback next couple of weeks, and then another bounce for late summer rally, and then eventually lower prices. And we'll discuss end of the year where we go. So that's on MES, and let's go to triple Qs. Let's go to 1 hour chart and see what's happening here. It filled this gap here. There was a gap created here on 357. Let's go back and see. Let's zoom out a bit. You can see this gap here. This gap is now filled. So our targets are done. We can get rid of this. And you can see now triple Qs are holding this purple trend line. okay, on 1 hour chart. And you can see what happened here. We made a new high. You can see we made a new high on divergence on PPO, and even RSI had a divergence. You can see new high with divergences on PPO and RSI, and now we're getting a dump. So lower momentum, massive gap here around 332, that's a given. Then other multiple gaps here. Let's go to daily chart and see how they look. So daily chart is here. You can, at minimum, we're going to 332. So from today's close, if we go to 332, that's going to be around 6% dump. Okay, we can easily go to fill this gap and then get a bounce, and then we can come back come down later on to fill these other gaps. So be very careful on triple Qs. Bull markets cannot just keep going straight. And if I bring my moving averages here, you can see how overly extended this is. This green line is 10 moving average. Every time it goes too far away, it comes back. Every time it goes too far away here, it comes back. So now it's going to come back. And then I think eventually it comes back to this red line. This is 50 simple moving average. So it's going to be that's going to be a healthy pullback. All right, so that's triple Q's VIX. VIX getting a bounce. Looking for now this bounce to continue. Cycle low is done. Looking for a little bit of bounce now. Next couple of weeks on VIX. Nothing changed there. US 30 getting a little bit of sell-off. Now looks like this dump is done, so we can get rid of this. So with next couple of weeks finding some weakness, I need to update this chart. Need to update as information comes. Looking for some weakness in US 30 along with S&P 500, and then get a rally later on. So I'm expecting US 2000, same thing. Looking for some weakness here. It was holding this 200 SMA line. Now futures are below that. So it looks like we have to now update this chart a bit. So I'm expecting this weakness here. You can see this cycle low here. So I think it's going to be like going lower. I think this is going to be still hold this bottom. So we're going to go lower, a little bit lower, and then going to get a bounce again. And then we'll discuss where we go after that. But looking for lower prices before getting a bounce. Dollar, looking for lower prices in dollar. You can see cycle lows are coming here. Gold was red surprisingly, but this bounce should fail. A lot of data here. This is the sell zone. A couple of days ago we got this sell zone, so I'm looking for gold to go down to this buy zone, which is around 1900, and that's when I will be looking to buy physical gold and gold miners before a massive rally later on. And same thing with silver. Now looking for this bounce to fail. Around 22 is a good area to buy for a rally here. And let's keep going. FEZ, this is Europe. So looking like cycle bottom is here, just holding very nicely here. Looks like it filled this gap, so we can get rid of this. No gaps here. Now looking for this to bottom very soon, and then get ahead for the next rally here. So looking for this rally to resume very soon. So Euro is looking like a good area to buy. That's one of the sectors you can look to buy. FEZ is the sector. Crude oil was up. Saudi and all OPEC plus, they decided to cut production. So crude oil massive pump 3%, and now it's going down. So eventually, I'm very bearish on crude oil this year. So I think eventually we're going to go to previous lows or even go lower to around $60. That will be my target. Natural gas, massive. I took profits on natural gas, guys, today because I had Boyle ETF, and it in the morning it was up more than 10%. So in one day I got 10%. So right at the open I sold around 2.63. I bought it around here. So massive profits. I don't want to risk my profits, so I locked in my profits. Now, 1 hour chart, there's still a lot of price targets on natural gas. Let's go to natural gas ETF. You can see this opened, natural gas opened with this this Sunday night. Futures opened with a gap up. Now, one thing, there's a contradictory information. If I look at NG futures, natural gas futures, they are not showing any gaps. You can see futures are not showing. Let me hide these moving averages. You can see futures are showing no gap here. However, this live market is showing gap here. So I don't know if it's a real gap or no, but You got to make your decision. But what I do know is this looks like a breakout. You can see this trend line here. This trend line, this was a fake out here. It broke out and immediately dumped. But today we got a gap up on Sunday night, and then we kept going higher, and now we are still above this trend line. And also I can bring back these moving averages. So for you to know when to exit, keep this 50 SMA red line in your chart. As long as we are above that, there's no issue. The moment we go below this red line, exit, guys. So exit the moment you see 1 hour candle below this red line, a 50 simple moving average, exit. Okay. So you can see right now we are holding nicely and we keep going higher. Futures are up 0.35%. And yeah, everything is looking good. Looks like we have a breakout, and you can see what happened here on 1 hour chart. We were going down on divergence on PPO and RSI. Now we got a breakout on this trend line. So everything is looking good on natural gas. Bitcoin, I already spent a lot of time to discuss that. 1 hour chart, I see no divergence. I want to see some divergences building to understand there's a basically dump is ending. I want to show you, let's see if what kind of indications I'm looking for. You can see what's happening here. You can see we were making new lows with divergence on RSI and PPO. That's something I want to see. This is just started, so I think eventually going to fail, go lower. And you already know my price targets in the previous video. Sorry, not previous video, earlier on this video. Wheat looking good. Again, same thing. It's still in this wedge. This is bullish falling wedge. Looking for a breakout. Wheat was up 0.8%, so everything is looking good. Copper is going to bottom before gold. So looking for next couple of days to a week. Looking for lower prices to make a equal low. I want to see a equal low made with the divergence on RSI and PPO. That will be a sign of a bottom. JJC is the ETF you can look to buy. Palladium was basically down in the morning, and then it held very nicely. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see same thing as natural gas. It had a breakout, came for a back test. You can see very nicely on this white trend line. If I hide these moving averages, you can see how nicely this trend line with divergences on PPO and RSI broke out, back test. Now we're going higher. So Palladium looks really nice, guys. Looking good. Mortgage rates, TNX. Let's go to daily chart. Kind of selling, because stock market is going up. Looking for a little bit more sell-off for this bottom to happen very soon, and then looking for higher prices on mortgage bonds, ZN. Let's see, looking for this bonds to fail, little bit of more higher prices, then looking for a new low or equal low with divergence on RSI and PPO, and then a bounce later on. Gold miners, kind of 0.48%. I think this will fail eventually. Also, there is this trend line looking for at minimum previous lows around 30 or even lower. This gap here around 29. There's also this massive gap which I don't like around 27, so it can go as low as that. But at minimum, looking for equal lows on this trend line, and then that will be my target. If I bring moving averages, let's bring back moving averages. And you can see this 200 SMA blue line. That's also a good area. So I don't know if this trend line will hold, but even it can go a little bit lower to fill this gap. That's when this 200 SMA will come here. That will be a good area to buy gold. And let's keep going to sectors. Energy sector, I'm very bearish on energy sector. Looking for lower prices on energy sector. This is my target, this gap here around 71.55. Utilities is bouncing a bit, but I think it's going to go a little bit lower based on, but one thing happened is we are now back above this trend line. You can see this trend line. Utilities is back above this trend. As long as we are holding this trend line, with the S&P 500 going down, it's possible utilities is a safety sector. Money can flow into utility stocks, so we can expect a bounce. So I will leave it like that. Healthcare also was sold very heavily. You can see this massive dump. Now it's picking up. It's still looking good. It was green today and holding above this 200 EMA and 200 SMA. These two lines, blue lines and dark blue lines. As long as it's above this, all is good. We're getting this pump, but I think I have to update this based on the latest information. So with little bit of sell-off, I think we can cover this gap and then gonna go higher. All right. So this also trend line, nicely holding this trend line, looking for lower prices, hold this trend line and go higher. Industrials are down 0.7%, massive gap here. This gap has to be filled, so this has to be updated now based on latest information. So I'm looking for this pump to kind of come back down, fill this gap, and then we're going to go higher. Real estate sector, same thing. Looking for a little bit lower prices. So these are previous lines, so we have to update these lines. So we can go like this, a little bit more sell off, and then go higher to fill this gap. Financials were down 0.5%, still this gap I don't like. At minimum, looking for this gap to fill, and also also this trend line. You can see this trend line, so going on this trend line and then go up to fill these other gaps. So I think later on this summer, when we get this rally, it's going to be mainly driven by financials, industrials, and healthcare, and not going to be led by techs, because money will rotate out of tech to these sectors. And those are the main things. Let's quickly look at tech stocks. Tesla was pumping in the morning, up more than 3%. Gave back a bit later on, but again, I think this should eventually fail. And there's this gap here. This green line is a gap, 208. There's a gap there. There's gap around 161. There's another gap around 145. Eventually looking for these gaps to fill. I don't know when these gaps will fill, but these gaps will eventually fill. Apple made a new all-time high today, and it's a new 52 weeks high. And let's go to 1 hour chart and see if it filled this gap. It did fill this gap. You can see it gapped up in the morning, fill this gap, and then we can get rid of this green line. Now there's another gap here around 175, another massive gap here. You can see this big gap around 166. Let's go to daily chart. I think at minimum we are going towards 166. So I'm going to keep that as a target for now, and then we will evaluate later on. And also you can see this purple line. You can see this trend line. We basically broke down here, back tested once, back tested twice today, and now we're going down. All right. Google was up 1%, but you can see RSI, we made a new high today. RSI has some divergence. You can see this divergence on RSI, and PPO has also same divergence. And I think we are going lower on Google. Again, this massive gap you can take as a target at minimum 113. Microsoft flat today, and Microsoft again made a new high on divergences. So same story in all tech sectors. Snowflake, surprisingly, after such a bad earnings, still going higher. Again, there are multiple gaps, and actually did it fill this gap? Let's go to 1 hour chart. Let's see. Came very close to filling this gap. Still this gap is not filled. So tomorrow it's possible we can go up, fill this gap, and then come down to fill this bottom gap. So I'm staying away from tech sector. This is not the point to go. I told you guys when I was reviewing Nasdaq. And Meta, again, same thing, same story, divergence, looking for lower prices, multiple gaps on Meta. Amazon, same thing, looking for lower prices on Amazon as well. So we have to update this chart. All these green lines are gaps to fill. Netflix, again, made a new high, and no divergence actually here. So that's very interesting. So we can get rid of this. But the thing is, there's this gap here, there's another massive gap here, and also this trend line coming here. So at minimum, we're going to touch this trend line. NVDA looks like top was made on this day, 30th of May. Looking for this massive gap, earning gaps to fill. AMD flat today. Again, this massive gap looks like it wants to fill that gap at minimum 110. So that's the target. Intel, I have it here, looking like it's selling off. It's going to be coming very close to buy zone, and buy zone could be this whole area here. So I'm looking to buy Intel. Let's see. Let's go to here, somewhere like here. Okay, this whole area. Looking for Intel to go there, and that will be a good area to buy for the pump later on this summer. BABA flat, and if you go to daily chart, finding resistance on this yellow line, which is 50 EMM, massive gap here. At minimum, we're going to fill this 71.95 gap, so be mindful of that. Disney is green. All sectors are kind of red, most of the sectors. So you can see it's in this buy zone. Disney is still this in buy zone, and also it created this gap around 88.79. looking for that gap to fill, then we get a bounce. Nike down 2%, 2.3%. Again, this gap here looking like Nike wants to fill this gap before we get a bounce. So around 103.75, there is this gap. Look out for that. And let's quickly review Canadian sectors, XIC. This is Canadian S&P and TSX 60, Toronto Stock Exchange. Looks like there's a gap here around 31.44. That will be good area to buy when we go here to buy into that. And also that's where Fibonacci retracement is coming, 0.618. And I'm also looking for, you can see all banks are selling very heavily, looking to load into banks in a week or so. A lot of national bank is now breaking out of this this support. It came down yesterday, day before, like last Friday, gap up, and now again it's sold down. Looks like very weak. Royal Bank, this is the biggest stock in Canadian index, looking like it's selling down as well. Looking for some divergences to form. Also, this gap at minimum, looking for this gap, it can happen tomorrow at 90.53. Looking for that gap to fill. TD, looking for this gap to fill. Also, there's a gap here around TD. Let's quickly see. You can see this gap, green line, 57.47. BMO, all these banks have multiple gaps, looking for these gaps to fill. And you can check yourself on 1 hour chart. You can see this green line, 84.65 on BMO. This gap around, this is CIBC. Also, this one has a gap around 41.74. This is Bank of Nova Scotia, BNS. Canadian sectors have 5 major banks, and all of them are selling heavily, 48.81. This one, and yeah, all these are other stocks, which I'm not going to go into details, but I think that's about it, guys. Okay, guys, if you're still here, please hit the like button. I hope this episode was very educational, and please share with your friends and family, and I'll see you tomorrow.